Hi, my name is Alice. He is Emmett, my ex. And she's Chloe, the one I've considered my best friend for over 20 years. I don't know if this is my story, hers, his, theirs, or ours, but here we go. I met Chloe a long time ago when her parents bought the house next to us. She stood in front of the house and screamed that she hated this city. It was love at first sound because I too hated everything, almost everything. The one thing I loved was mac and cheese. Soon, we became inseparable. We did everything together, and we shared everything. What a funny affirmation, given that 20 years later, sharing did not necessarily mean caring. Emmett came into my life when I was a hungry teenager, and I decided to order a pizza. Maybe an apple a day would have kept the heartbreak away. Slice to meet you, pizza boy. Later that night, I found a note near the front door. I wanted to make him wait, so...
One eternity later.
Just kidding. 2 seconds later... Yes, we were that annoying couple. The next 5 years were full of love, fun activities, and instant noodles. I started to notice that Chloe's belly was getting bigger every day, and certainly not the noodles were to blame. So I confronted her. She told me she was pregnant. She also told me she had an affair, and she begged me to never talk about this again. This was the only time we talked about the father of the child. I went with her to almost all her doctor appointments. When I could not be there, Emmett offered to go with her. We both were there for Chloe, helping her to prepare to be a mother. We even decorated the nursery. As I stood there and watched him put the crib together, I thought to myself, I'm going to marry this man. I was so proud of him. I felt I loved him even more. We were there when Ben was born. I cried, Emmett cried, Chloe cried, Ben, not so much. He was not so happy to meet us. Emmett and I were Ben's godparents, and his friends, and his funny uncles, and we babysat him a lot. Fast forward 5 years later, we were at a supermarket. The cashier looked at Emmett, and she told him that Ben is his mini-me. That made me laugh, and then cry. I cried because I understood that my life was a lie. Ben indeed looked a lot like Emmett. They had the same eye color, the same snub nose, and they both loved fries dipped in ice cream. Emmett was not just his godfather. Emmett was his father. There was no need to ask Emmett or Chloe anything. I knew, and they were aware of that. I only had one question. Why? But there was no point in asking that. I moved to another city and started a new life. Where are they now? I'm not going to tell you. I finally came to the conclusion that this is not a story about them, us, or me. This is a story about unspoken truths, about learning to rise beyond the pain. C.S. Lewis once said, "Friendship is born at the moment when one person says to another, 'What? You too? I thought I was the only one.' I guess that I thought I was the only one in Emmett's life. I thought that I was the only one that knew how to love him. Chloe and I were friends, and we had so much in common, including Emmett. But there was a big difference. He gave me butterflies in my stomach, and he gave her a baby. This was a story about friendship and love, not in the textbook way, but in the sick and twisted way I had to deal with.